Welcome to today's Partner Web Conference, Understanding Dynamics 365 Add-ons. And now to kick us off over to Fabio Arujo. Fabio, you now have the floor.
Thank you, Doug. And hi, everybody. Good morning and good afternoon or good evening, depending where you're joining us from. And thanks for joining in this Dynamics and Business Applications webinar series. I'm Fabio Araújo, and I lead our Global Dynamics SMC Corporate and Corporate Premiers businesses. So it's great to be here with you. As just a quick reminder, this presentation, this webinar will be shared with everybody that have registered to this webinar very soon. So please stay tuned for that. And also, just to keep in mind that the goal behind this webinar series is to help you understand how to better position Dynamics 365, our value proposition to your prospects and customers. Whether you're new to Dynamics, which may be the case for some of you, or an experienced professional, I would certainly encourage you to keep update with all the series that we're doing. Certainly Dynamics 365, with all the investments and innovations that we have put in the product, is much more than just a CRM and ERP system. We're actually bringing together our customers, processes, and business intelligence in a single platform. And this has certainly opened up new business opportunities to all of us involved in this business. Today, for instance, we'll be covering the many other offerings that we have, in addition just to the basic dynamic solution, including the relationship sales, with LinkedIn, PowerSuite, and CDS, just to name a few things that we're covering today. Also, as the series continues, we will also advance in terms of complexity. And so we'll be covering advanced topics such as how you can position the One Microsoft strategy and the One Microsoft approach, and covering then information and topics such as Azure integration and the many services that we have in that scenario, extensibility, the analytics, intelligent elements of our products. So again, stay tuned for that, because it's a kind of end-to-end webinar series. Hopefully will be very beneficial to all of you. So without further ado, let me introduce you to Karen and hand over to Karen so she can start her session. And happy selling, everybody.
Thanks so much, Fabio, and welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us again, or welcome for the first time to our webinar series. We're happy to chat with you today and talk through the add-ons that come with Dynamics 365 for customer engagement. Here's our agenda for today, and what we're really going to focus on are three types of add-ins. So myself, Barb, and Renato will each cover one of these groups of add-ons. And there are add-ons included with Dynamics 365 licensing. There are also no-cost add-ons from AppSource. And then there are, of course, add-ons available at additional costs. So these are the three areas that we're going to cover. Also provide you some resources and what's next going forward. So we've got a lot to cover today, so we'll go ahead and get started. But one thing I want to mention before this, the reason, and this kind of alludes to what Fabio said, we're spending time on this because sometimes we forget to talk about these add-ons with our customers. We forget to demo them, and we forget to consider them for implementations with our customers. And they really represent additional customer value that can help differentiate our solutions. So that's why we're spending this time on it today. So here is a list of all the add-ons, and you can see there's a lot of them. This list is very extensive. You can see we've done a little bit of color coding here based on what the add-on is. Is it included? Is it free? Or is there an additional cost? And we'll cover each of these in a little bit more detail. One thing to note is we won't cover anything highlighted in blue, which is the bot framework and AI. And the reason is these are add-ons, but they're really integration add-ons. They provide you with a framework to help to work with your customers to build a solution upon, but they're not something that you can just install out of the box and go from there. So we won't touch on those, but we'll touch on everything else. I'm going to start with the add-ons included with Dynamics 365 licensing. And you see a list of all of those here. We'll touch on each of these briefly. One thing you'll notice here is that there are some details on capacity limits. So for social engagement and portals, get a certain capacity included with the license, and then you can purchase additional capacity later on. So that's something that's noted on this slide. The other thing I want to mention is under Power Apps and Flow, there are two different licenses here. There's the Power Apps P1 and Power Apps P2 licenses that provide different capabilities. The P1 license comes with any of the apps, and the P2 license comes automatically with any of the plans. This is something we'll definitely touch on in the pricing and licensing webinar that comes up in the future, but it's something that I wanted to note here. So before we get into each of those items, let's first look at kind of what's included with the subscription. And again, we're talking about customer engagement, so we're talking about sales, field service, customer service, project service automation today that you see in the box there. So when you get the subscription, you get one production instance, one non-production instance. You get one portal, you can see the storage that you get and the use rights. So this is kind of the basics of what you get with the licenses out of the box. Here is a list of the add-ons that you could purchase. So for the things that we're going to talk about today, you could see you could purchase additional capacity for portal page views, social engagement, purchase additional portals, and then a number of other things that I will not go through. But this is just a slide that you'll have in hand to show you all the add-ons that are available for purchase. Okay, let's start with the app for Outlook. So this is really the recommended method to access Dynamics information from within Outlook. It will work within your Outlook client on your desktop or within Outlook web app access. And as you can see from the screenshot here, when you set this up, you need to enable the app for Outlook for individual users. So that's something you have to do in the system when you're setting users up to use email. I mentioned that it's the recommended method. We still have the full Dynamics client add-in that gets installed, but the app for Outlook is based on newer technology. It can provide some better performance and can be a little bit easier to deploy. So it's really the recommended method that we're suggesting people use to deploy when they're going to access Dynamics within Outlook. But again, that full Dynamics Outlook add-in client is still available for you, and that may be appropriate for some customers. Now let's look at a few screenshots here of information surfaced from the app for Outlook within the Dynamics app for Outlook within Outlook. So first you see here that I got an email from Paul Cannon, and I click on Dynamics 365. It recognizes Paul as a purchasing manager from Alpine Ski House. So he is in my Dynamics system. It provides me a couple upcoming activities. I can click to go into his account information, and then I can see recent opportunities. So based on who Paul is, it brings up contacts, activities, opportunity information related to him. Another screenshot here is if this is a very important email, I'm working with Paul on an opportunity, I might want to track this email. So with a click of the button, I could track this email and have it tracked within Dynamics 365 for sales with a click of the button right from within Outlooks. You can also track opportunities, cases, any Outlook information that you want to track related to accounts, opportunities, and cases can really be done with a click of the button. The last screenshot I want to show you here is the ability to utilize templates. So you might have sales literature or knowledge-based articles within your Dynamics system. What you could do here is use these templates within Outlook. Let's say I want to send Paul some sales literature. With a click of a few buttons, I can grab that information from Dynamics and shoot an email to Paul very, very easily utilizing these templates. So really, really great capabilities that can enhance people's productivity in Outlook, where most of us, start and end our day. One thing I wanted to mention about the app for Outlook is the V9 version is currently still in preview. That's something you can find online, but I wanted to mention that it will be becoming GA in the future, but it is in preview right now. Okay, next up, let's talk a little bit about social engagement. So I think we touched on this briefly last time, but really what social engagement can do is to allow, bring that social information to your sales teams or your customer service agents or anyone across your organization for that matter. And the ways that it can help is if a service agent can actually kind of meet the customer on social media to solve a problem effectively, or a sales team can gather intelligence or maybe source new leads based on information they're monitoring from social channels. And then even just as a regular employee, you can leverage some of the insights that come from social engagement to really better understand what your customers are saying about you, kind of that voice of the customer. You could, again, social engagement comes as part of the Dynamics license, and you access it actually in the upper right or upper left-hand corner here is the Office application tab. That's actually where you access social engagement. So I clicked on that, and I've got at the very top here, you can see all of the options available within social engagement. You have search setup, analytics, social center, and down below, I'm actually showing you the analytics screen. So what you can see from this screen is that we're monitoring Facebook, Twitter, and RSS feeds. You can see the volume, sentiment of all the activity that's actually happening on that social channel. So you can monitor a lot of information out there and bring that in for analysis. This screen here is actually the social center, and the social center, we're actually monitoring the specific messages that are coming in from that channel. And because we're integrated with Dynamics, if I see a post related to a customer problem, I can actually create a customer service ticket for follow-up. So this is where the customer service agent can engage with the customer, starting with the social channel. Another example would be if there's a post where a customer mentioned they're interested in a new product, we can actually create a lead in Dynamics for follow-up. So when we're monitoring these social channels, we're not just monitoring them and looking at the data. We're actually taking action based on what is being said on the social channel. So this really can help use that intelligence and help an organization become very proactive in meeting their customer needs in different ways than they had before. Okay, that's social engagement. Next is portals. I told you we had a lot to cover, and this is going to be a fast-moving session. So portals. Portals really allow you to extend Dynamics by surfacing the information to the web. And this is really important because users increasingly prefer to engage with an organization through web and mobile, and they want some sort of self-service experience to really maximize their productivity. They don't want to call on the phone if they don't have to. So portals gives us the capability to do that. You can see here, you have the rights to install one portal with a Dynamics license, but you can, again, as we noted earlier, purchase additional portals if you want to install those. What you're seeing here is the Dynamics admin portal, and this is where you install the portals. And you can see a long list there of installation options. There are the base and custom portals that can be installed, and these really provide you with a framework to build your own portal. But then we also have out-of-the-box configured portals for community, for customer self-service, employee self-service, and 3 different options there for partner portals, and 2 that are focused on field service and project service automation. So these out-of-the-box portals provide tons of capabilities and allow you to really get up and running quickly. But we also have the capability, and all of the things that you see on the screen here are what's included in the portals. But we have the ability to customize the portals to meet a customer's specific needs. So again, it's really a very easy way to help your customers enhance their customer experience by enabling these web capabilities. So that's all about portals. Next up is gamification. So we hear that employee engagement is kind of on a decline in general, especially in U.S. organizations. So it's kind of a top priority for them to try, how do we get our employees better engaged? Well, one thing we know is that some of the most popular mobile apps are games, right? So why not turn work into play and use this gamification to address, challenging and letting employees collaborate, and engage in games while at work. You can install install gamification in the Dynamics admin portal per the screenshot that you see right there. And then in the lower right-hand corner, you see all of the ability and some of the options within Dynamics that you'll use to configure the games and set everything up. There's a game, it's really pretty simple to set up a game, and there's kind of this role of game manager, and you can see there's 5 steps across the top here where someone can easily set up a game and get this going. So there's different types of games. You can assign users as an individual or part of a team. And because the gamification is built on top of a Dynamics, the game APIs are actually based on data from Dynamics, like sales revenues or support cases. So you can run games based on, who's performing best around sales revenue. And then the last piece there is defining awards, and you can define these awards based on activities and metrics within Dynamics to really get that game and that competition going with your teams. The next up, here's what a player view is. So there's this concept of the leaderboard, and this is really something that can be displayed within a company if they want to, but it really can help employees see where they are, encourage each other, and breed that, positive competition. So from the leaderboard, I can see where I'm ranking against others that are playing the game. And then the last screen here is also just tracking my own individual performance. So I can see all of the awards that I've won and some of my stats across all of the games that I'm playing. So another key benefit, aside from employee engagement, is really driving adoption of your business application. So we all know that sometimes people don't always want to use their CRM application, and user adoption is a key concern of our customers always. If you can make a game out of it and get people to use the application, that might be a great way to compel them to start using it. So gamification is a great way to address user adoption. Next, Power Apps and Flow. These two things are part of our business application platform, and they really allow us to extend Dynamics by creating task-specific apps and workflows across multiple data sources and across all web and mobile platforms. And I really believe these two capabilities give us a really great opportunity for you, our partners, or Microsoft sellers, to help our customers extend Dynamics. Power Apps is really a tool to build no-code applications using kind of this WYSIWYG, what you see is what you get interface that you see here on this screenshot. And there's also kind of an Excel-like application logic to build your applications. One thing very powerful is that there's all of these connectors that have been built. So if I want to connect my application to Dynamics and Office 365, or Dynamics and Dropbox, or all of these other options that you see on the screen, there's over 160 connectors that you could use to connect Power Apps to, or you could actually build your own connectors as well. So that's a Power Apps. Now, Flow can be used to really easily create workflows with kind of an easy drag and drop interface. And you see an example of a notification flow right here. This flow, if you notice, will create a lead in Dynamics, or when there's a new lead actually created in Dynamics, it'll actually trigger an email to the owner of that lead to follow up on it. So very, very simple, but can be very, very impactful. These flows can be integrated into a Power App, or they can just run on their own. The other thing to make it very easy is we've provided a whole slew of templates for very commonly used workflows. So this is a real easy way to get started with Flow. And we also provide some sample Power Apps as well. So a couple options to make it very, very easy to get started. Here's a couple examples of something our teams have created. Here's a little Power App that is looking at work orders that are part of Dynamics 365 for field service. So this is an application I could use on my mobile phone to look at work orders, for instance. Here's a flow, a little bit of a twist on what we saw before. Based on a tweet, I can actually create a new lead. So I can monitor Twitter social channel and create a new lead in Dynamics. So something very simple, but obviously can have a huge impact. Two really key reasons we want to consider using Power Apps and Flow. First, there are many, business application requests that go unfulfilled by IT and mainly due to resource constraints. Power Apps and Flow is very easy to use, can actually allow a business user to create those applications themselves. Secondly, many business processes have to interact across multiple applications or data sources. We can use those connectors that we saw to connect those multiple applications or data sources within one application to meet a specific business need. So very, very powerful technology here. Voice of the customer is a great way to get feedback from your customers. So it can be installed in the admin portal again that you see here on the screen. And really, it's commonly used across marketing, customer service, specifically to get customer feedback, maybe customer feedback after a service or support call. But can really be used across any of the applications within Dynamics 365. You can see here there's kind of three main components of setting this up, so it's really not that complicated. You create the survey, you look at survey results so that you can make improvements, and then you can even respond back to a customer automatically based on a survey response with these response outcomes. So a lot of capabilities here, but really something that's easy to set up and easy channel for your customers to get feedback. And the last thing I want to touch on is Unified Service Desk. This is really a configurable framework for building applications for call centers so that agents can get kind of this unified view of the customer. You can integrate information from all of the different areas of Dynamics as well as other systems into this integrated desktop that provides this 365-degree view. It gives your agents sort of immediate access to the critical information they need to quickly engage with the customer and resolve their issue. From the screenshot here, you can see all the customer information for Maria Campbell. You can see here there's actually a call script on the left-hand side to walk the agent through. I also have related information, associated cases, or KB articles that might be appropriate for this particular individual. And then at the bottom here, there's some shortcuts that help an agent move through the screens very quickly, so it's very, very efficient. The last screenshot I have here for you is the configuration for Unified Service Desk, and there's a lot of stuff here, a lot of capabilities that you can enable. But essentially, you configure agent applications. Generally, you don't have to write code. There are some cases where you might have to write code, but most of the time it's configuration. And this really reduces that lead time to create this agent application. And then organizations also can build adapters to connect Unified Service Desk with maybe existing CTI or telephony infrastructure, so that they can get screen pops or engage with customers on email or chat channels. One thing to note is there is a USD client application that does need to be installed on the desktop for the agent for them to use this. So something to think about is if you have a customer that has a call center need and they want to have a unified solution for customer engagement, USD is something you should absolutely talk with them about. So now I'm going to pass off to Barb to cover our next section.
Thanks, Karen. All right, so my piece that I'm going to be talking about from the add-ons perspective are those that actually don't come right with the licensing but are still free. We need to add them from AppSource. So we have 5 of them that I have picked out here: Insights, Versium Predict, Organization Insights, Glimpse, and Data Export Services. I do have the hyperlinks on side of this deck that once you guys do receive it, that will take you right out to AppSource. But if you do a really quick search on AppSource, you will be able to find these quickly and easily. On side of AppSource, they have really good, quick informational videos on all of the products so you can get a feel for how they work and the best way to demo them. And then we have all of the data, the guides for the documentation for all the products right up on Insights for you, or I'm sorry, on AppSource for you. All right, the first one I'm going to talk about is Insights. And Insights is going to give you an easy and quick way to find information on accounts. Next week, we're going to be talking about delivering a sizzling demo. And one of the many issues partners face is gathering information on accounts quickly so that they can have a relevant discovery call. So that is a great reason for you guys as partners to be utilizing Insights. And then that is the business value for the customers on why they would want to do that. Their customers or their sales reps are facing that same dilemma of how can I get information on these customers quickly and easily so that I can have these relevant conversations with them that everyone is looking for. Just a quick caveat on that, Insights is only available if you're in the U.S. or Canada. You can purchase it direct from Inside View if you're in other regions, but it's just not a free add-on. All right, so let's move on to our next one. That is going to be Versium Predict. And Predict has a warehouse that has over 1 trillion attributes of online and offline behavior, purchase interests, financial data, and more to add to your customer data. So Predict has already pulled together some predictive models that will help you score your leads with that machine learning, but you do have some customization that you can do with it to hit your business goals. It's going to really allow you to quickly discover which one of your leads are most likely to buy your product. So that's really what customers are looking for, is what can I use to make sure that I'm calling on the right lead at the right time. It is a pretty quick process. Most of the insights can be gained within a matter of hours. And again, it's really going to allow you to make sure that you are reaching the right customers and delivering that personalized engagement. All right, next is Organization Insights. As we talked about, deployment and adoption is very high. Organization Insights is really going to give you a customized dashboard so that you can take a look at and monitor adoption and usage. You can identify your most active users. You can look at the types of operations that they're performing, most used entities. Maybe you guys created a custom entity for them and they want to make sure that people are using that. We're now going to have the ability to have reporting on that. It will also give you information on storage and also on performance. So it will tell you your top failing workflows and API calls so that you can quickly diagnose and help to troubleshoot that. All right, Glimpse, I kind of say is like the Uber app for the taxi service. It's a free add-on for field services, and it's going to allow the recipient of the service work to see the real-time location of the technician when they're on their way. So just like we see in Uber, we can see how far away they are. Now, if you're waiting for a service worker to come out, you will actually be able to see how far away they are. You can see the picture of them. It's just really going to give those customers that 360-degree view of their service appointments that they're looking for, and that is a really strong business value that you need to go back to your customers with. This is something that they can add on to differentiate themselves for their service work. And the last one I'm going to talk about is data export services. Again, an add-on that adds the ability to replicate the sales, service, and marketing data to a SQL store in a customer-owned Azure subscription. It's going to really simplify the technical and administrative complexity of deploying and managing a data export solution. It's going to manage all the schema and the data. You'll be up and running in just a matter of a few minutes to be able to export that data to Azure and then be able to manipulate that data and utilize it however they need. All right, so I'm going to walk you quickly through what an installation for any of these apps is going to look like. So you're going to find it on AppSource. So I did a quick search here for Versium Predict. And down at the bottom of the actual Versi and Predict, you can see the little Get It Now. So you will click on that Get It Now. It's going to ask you to fill out a little bit of your customer information, accept the terms and conditions. Then it's going to bring you over into this one you can't see too well, but in the middle of the screen there, we're going to be asking for which tenant you want to install that to. You are going to have to be a global admin right to that, so if you're running demos like I do a lot of times, make sure you promote yourself to admin, or you will have, you'll get a little error message that says you don't have the rights. Once you select which tenant that you want to use, then it's going to bring you right back into the Dynamics 365 Admin Center inside of your solutions, and you can see it's already starting to install the solution, the Versi and Predict solution for me. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and break out to my desktop here and show a couple of these applications. Alrighty, if you guys could just let me know that you're seeing my screen.
Yes.
Looks good.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm in my Dynamics tenant here. I'm in the Insights, so if you click down on any of the screens, you'll see Insights and Discovery Center, and that is where I'm at. So this is, again, the place where we can find information on any customers that you want to gain knowledge about. You're going to be doing a demo for them. You're going to be doing some sort of gather information to see if it's an appropriate customer for you. So this is what we did. So I grabbed C.H. Robinson, which is a pretty large company that's in my backyard here in Minnesota. If I select them, I could very easily add them to CRM right here with this button. Maybe I just needed to verify I had the right one with the location, and then I could do that. If I do click on it, I'm going to get some more information about the actual company, where they're located, their revenue, their industry, some of the key contacts that they need, and information, what's happening in the news, that I can click on that and read that. So again, if you're getting ready to have a call with a customer, we want to kind of know what industry they're in, what's happening, who are the top people, what is really top of mind for them. So within a couple of minutes, I can find out all of this information right inside of Dynamics, so that you're more prepared for those conversations and you have that intelligence. You look like you know what that company is about, and that's what our end users are looking for today. And the other thing I'm going to show quick is Organization Insights. So again, in Settings, Organization Insights, this is where you're going to find this application. I'm on the main dashboard here. You can select which what kind of a time range that you are looking at. The dashboard does have the ability to kind of manipulate it and move things around. If I can get it to open up for me. You can actually add some new charts if you wanted to. So whatever is going to be most important to you, you're going to want to grab these charts and put those in the dashboard. So the dashboard is the one that's going to have the ability to kind of pull in things that are going to be the most important for you as a company. We come over here to active usage. If you'd looked at Org Insights before it came out of preview, we have some new features in here. This again is my demo tenant, so it's myself and the system user. So not a lot of great information, but you're going to be able to see the different information that will be available to you as you're rolling this out to your customers. We're going to be able to see the modes of access. So how are people accessing this? Are they coming in via a Chrome browser? Are they coming in via Internet Explorer? Are they coming in, what operating system are they using? What types of devices are they using? And we're going to be able to see what type of entities that they're taking a look at. As I mentioned before, maybe there's a custom entity that you created for the customer, and we want to make sure that those are being utilized. So here's a nice screen that will show you what's happening in regards to the entities that they are using. We will have information on the system jobs. Again, we don't have any workflow failures. Yay, I've got a really good, strong demo tenant here going on. And we have our plugin information. In addition to our APIs. So again, when we're talking about troubleshooting, if you have some APIs or some workflows that are failing, those are going to be able to define those very quickly by coming out to this application. We're going to have our mailbox usage, the number of mailboxes that we have, how they're connecting. And storage is another thing that we've had a lot of requests for. How much am I using of my storage, and then which one of my tenants are using the majority of the storage. And lastly, we have the ability to export a couple of these different charts if you want to take a look at that in an Excel spreadsheet. All right, that's it for my demos. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Renato.
Thanks, Barb. So let me change here. Back to PowerPoint.
Looks good.
All right. Okay, so let's cover now some add-ons that are really important, and they are available with some additional costs. So we're going to talk about relationship sales, KFAX Live Assist, Power BI, Connected Food Service, and RSO. One brief comment here. Connected Food Service, if you go to AppSource.com right now, you're going to see as a free add-on. Although it is free from the Dynamics 365 perspective, it might require some Azure resource, and those Azure resources might incur some costs. That's why I'm listing here on add-ons available with additional costs. All right, so what is relationship sales? Relationship sales, it's a combination of Dynamics 365 for sales and LinkedIn Sales Navigator. There is a combo SKU that you can sell both solutions together. This combo SKU is only available through EA right now, but it doesn't mean that you cannot have both. If you have a plain license or sales from different channels, you can always add LinkedIn Sales Navigator solution with a specific LinkedIn license to it. That license is sold by LinkedIn, not by Microsoft. So the whole idea here is that you have all your data, business data on CRM, you have all your emails and your productivity information from Office 365, and then you have all your social network, your relationships coming from LinkedIn. So why not having all this working together? And that's what relationship sales is all about, is connecting all this data so you can have very important insight of your entire relationship with your customers and know exactly what to do next and how to interact with your customer. Or maybe if you don't even know someone inside your customer right now, you can use LinkedIn connections and recommendations to get to the right person at the right time. So what you can get out of our relationship sales is how your relationship is doing, some automatic recommendations, how to reach out to the right person, how to get someone to introduce you to the right person, some alerts, very important alerts. So you have a good relationship with someone, that person just moved to a different company, so how that affects me. should establish a new relationship inside that company. The new company that this connection went to, can I connect to him again and establish a new connection to this new company as well? So you can see all that with relationship sales. And so you can truly understand what's going on your opportunities, who are related to that company and opportunity, and find the correct path to reach out to your goals. Maybe to reach out to someone on buying, or someone that is an executive that it's a decision maker for that opportunity, maybe a CIO or a CTO, or depending on what you're selling. So you can map all that and get the right path to achieve that. If you combine that with relationships, insights, and customer insights, you can go even further by tracking the entire relationship and nurturing the relations that are necessary for you to get connected to the right people. And you can not only leverage LinkedIn connections and relationships, but also Point Drive and email from LinkedIn, all in the same place. Whenever you have your opportunity connected to LinkedIn and synchronized with Dynamics, you can see all your complete relationship history data in one single place. So all the communications that you had, all the meetings, the emails, all in one single view, one single place. And then you can leverage the business process flow from Dynamics to guide you to very complex sales processes. And by leveraging relationship assistance, the assistant will tell you, okay, so based on what I see here and what's going on with this opportunity, it's time for you to do one thing or the other. So it proactively will tell you what to do next. Going deeper on the LinkedIn add-on, you can see the profiles, get some icebreakers, recommendations from inside Dynamics. Send an email, and again, the email will be tracked inside Dynamics if you sync it. And if you don't know that person, you can get introductions from your existing connections. So the app will tell you, okay, so you don't know that person yet. This person is really relevant for your business, but you know these other people that can introduce you to that person. In the same way that you can see the path to get connected to someone from inside LinkedIn, you can do it from inside Dynamics using the app. And again, if you are communicating through email, you can sync that to CRM, so you can have everything in one single place, and you can, in the future, understand the complete historical data from your relationship. All right, so this is extremely important for sellers to nurture the relationship and engage the right audience and sell more. But on the post-sale, you also want to provide a great service, and for that, we can leverage KFAX Live Assist. So KFAX is a partner of Microsoft that developed a great omni-channel solution that you can connect to Dynamic. And once you can have like bots, or you can have a chat from your portal, from mobile apps, and the application will run embedded inside Dynamics with very cool features like a canned message or keyboard shortcuts, audio notifications, everything that the agent, the rep will need to properly deliver a great service. And whenever you were talking to someone or chatting with someone, all the related information that is inside Dynamics will pop up along, so you can see your previous interactions and the most important and relevant information from that contact. You can easily attach Live Assist to Dynamics portal, and you can have it on full web browsers or mobile apps. if you already working with bots, and we are going to cover how to do that, live assist and bots, in a future session for this series, you see that very easily you can create a new bot by using bot frameworks and connect your bot to live assist, and then you can have your bot leveraging your knowledge base from inside Dynamics to the portal or to the chat. And if reached to a point that the bot cannot answer properly customers' questions, the bot will route to a human agent to follow up with the service. And of course, you can have Live Assist on the browser version, but you can also have Live Assist embedded into USD in case you are using Unified Service Desk, maybe for a contact center or service center. All right, another very important piece is Power BI. There are several different licensing levels for Power BI. You have like trials, free versions, or paid versions, depending on what you need to do. But the thing is that when you combine Power BI and Dynamics, the way you display and you analyze your data is completely different and enhanced, and really worth it to have both solutions combined. And we facilitate how you leverage that data to your users. But if you go to AppSource.com right now and search for our Power BI and Dynamics, you're going to easily find 22 different templates for this search for all Dynamics 365 solutions. And if you search for Dynamics 365 Analytics and Microsoft and web apps, you're going to find 5 more, so 27 total different solutions. The difference between the previous one and the ones I'm showing right now is that those ones are templates, built-in templates that you expect to run inside Dynamics dashboards. You're going to leverage to Dynamics, but and these ones, the analytic ones, are more Power BI traditional dashboards. You can also leverage Dynamics if you want, but they were designed to run entirely on Power BI. Of course, from inside Power BI, you can run the same search and find the same add-ons. So it doesn't matter if you go to AppSource first, if you are already inside Power BI, you can very easily find these dashboards and panels that you can use with Dynamics data. And once you add to Power BI, you can see on the left-hand side, we have the Power BI template, and on the right-hand side, you have the same dashboard embedded inside Dynamics. So it's very easy and straightforward to do it from inside Dynamics. All you have to do is go to your settings first and enable using Power BI dashboards inside Dynamics. Once you have it, you just create a new dashboard, and you can select from the same. You must be on the same instance that you have the Power BI installed, and you see the options there just to select the dashboard you want to display. And of course, once you have Power BI, you can leverage all the mobile capabilities from Power BI, both by using the Power BI app, or having embedded Power BI on Dynamics and leveraging the Dynamics mobile app. So both will do. And you don't have to embed the whole dashboard if you don't want to. You can select specific areas or specific parts of your dashboard and combine with a traditional Dynamics dashboard to have a better understanding of your business. And you can also have, like in this case for connected field service, and you have like a Power BI that's real-time, monitored an IoT device, and you can have it inside a form. So it's not necessarily only on dashboards. It's really very impressive what we can do when you combine both solutions. Right, since I mentioned connected field service, let's dig in on that. So connected field services is part of Dynamics 365 for Field Service, is the portion of Dynamics 365 for Field Service that talks to IoT device, get information from those devices, and do something inside Dynamics. Maybe inform the users or notify that something is not right, so they can proactively act and resolve some issues that might be happening. Sometimes even before the customer even realize that something is going wrong. So what we expect with Connect Field Service is that you can drastically reduce the downtime by being more proactive. The issues or alerts from a device will be passed over to someone that's monitoring using Dynamics 365 and can take measures there, can maybe send commands back to the device. But if it's not possible to fix from there, they can easily leverage Dynamics 365 for field service capabilities to assign someone on the field to go to the customer and fix the issue. And because we are leveraging all the capabilities from Dynamics 365 for field service, you have mobile, you have the steps that for the field agent to act when they get to the customer. You can have information about the parts and if you have that available for you to replace whenever necessary, cost, get signatures, and all those things available on the field service app. And you close the loop by gathering all the information from the device, but also from the service provider, and having one single view of your customer and what's going on there, and considering everything, so device, services, feedbacks, everything. And the way we do that is by combining different Microsoft technologies like Azure IoT Suite, Cortana Intelligence, Dynamics, the Windows devices, and of course Power BI to track all this data. You can even enhance even more this proactive service by adding advanced solutions like HoloLens or wearables, or adding Cortana Intelligence to understand and gain more insights on what's going on and apply machine learning, AI capabilities to it to proactively predict what might happen in the future with your device. Just to have an overview of the infrastructure around Connect Field Service. So on the left-hand side, you have your IoT device that are communicating with the Azure cloud, maybe directly or through a gateway, depending on the capabilities of your IoT device, but passing data along to our cloud gateway. And once you have that on Azure, it really depends on what you want to do with that data. You can process that data in real time. You can go to Stream Analytics, Hadoop, apply machine learning to it, just store the data, or apply some business logic with logic apps, or whatever. Really, once it's inside Azure, it's really up to you what you want to do with that. And the output might be just a dashboard, a Power BI dashboard that's embedded inside Dynamics, or you can use the connector to Dynamics to say, okay, if this device is sending this information and is beyond a specific threshold, I want to create automatically a case and dispatch someone on the field. So you can automate the decisions by connecting both solutions. If you install from AppSource the Connect Field Service solution, it will install the solution inside Dynamics and will install a sample solution or a template on Azure. You must have an Azure subscription to it. This is just an example. If you install, you're going to have different names based on how you configure it, but essentially you have the Stream Analytics to receive the data from the IoT hub, and then you have two different logic apps, one to send information to CRM, the other one to get information from CRM, like commands, and also comes with a simulator, a web API that simulates a device, so you can use for your demos and you can configure as you want. It comes like a thermostat, but you can change that to be whatever you need, like a elevator sensor or whatever you need, a pressure sensor. You just customize as you want. And the simulator will look like this. So it's a thermostat that you can monitor. You can see all the device IDs that are configured on your IoT hub on Azure, and track temperature, humidity, get the message, send this message back to Dynamics, see the alarms reaching Dynamics, and inside Dynamics you can create workflows or process flows that will define what to do next. You can monitor in real time with Power BI, and based on what's going on, you can define a proactive message, a proactive action, like sending a reboot command. And if you cannot fix the issue, you can just notify the IoT device that someone is going there to fix it. And of course, you can leverage Power Apps, or you can leverage RESTCO, or you can leverage the Dynamics mobile app, whatever suits your need to have the mobile information available to the field. All right. When we are talking about field service, another add-on that's really important is RSO, or Resource Schedule Optimization. Essentially, RSO, it requires an additional license, but once you have it, all you have to do is go to your Manage Apps inside your Dynamics 365 Admin Center, select your instance that you want to configure it. It will start installing. Once you have it installed, you'll be able to see it by selecting your instance and clicking on Solutions. Once you see that RSO is installed, the next step is to go inside the RSO configurations and inside Dynamics instance and enable it. Say, I want to use it. And once you have it enabled, there are different places inside Dynamics that you can use and leverage RSO. One is on the schedule board, but there are other ways of using that. You can just create some rules and requirements and let it run automatically for you. So I'm sharing on the research slide some documentation on how to do it. And so if you want to, I've pasted on the chat screen already this resources, but we can do it again. If you want to know more about all the solutions we've presented today, you can just click on these links and get to know them. Again, it's really important to understand what comes along with Dynamics license, the free add-ons, and even the add-on that might require incurring additional costs, because you can deliver so much value to your customers and really and truly drive the digital transformation with them. So with that, we conclude the second part of our 6-part series. We'll have a repeat later today. And next week, we're going to talk about delivering a sizzling demo, most specifically delivering a remote sizzling demo, what's relevant, and some techniques to get all these apps and add-ons and configure a demo tenant and deliver properly a demo to your customers. On the upcoming weeks, we're going to talk about pricing and license and partner resource, very important for all the partners on this call. And the last 2 sessions will cover advanced topics by putting together Azure and Dynamics 365 to deliver even more business value to your customer. Also, we have an upcoming session on how to demo and showcase Dynamics 365 as a whole. That's not only for customer engagements, it's the whole portfolio. Very good sessions here. Make sure you attend to it, register now. And with that, I say thank you for all of you for being with us today, and I'll hand back to Doug for some final announcements.
Thank you very much, and we do hope that you found today's information helpful. And if you enjoyed the conference or have feedback on how we can provide you with a better event, please let us know by completing our survey. It can be found under the Messages tab and is on a scale of 5 to 1, with 5 being the highest score possible. And this does conclude today's web conference.